and communications relating to or referring to the death of Epstein. But that's not what you produced. What was produced by the Department of Justice was 33,000 documents that had already been turned over before. They weren't the Epstein files. What took place? Justice, she was moved from the Tallahassee prison to the facility in Bryan, Texas, Camp Bryan, Texas, to the minimum security facility where she got a special waiver because she's a convicted sex trafficker who's serving a 20-year sentence that she wasn't allowed to be at Camp Bryan, Texas. We've seen the transcript of that interview by Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, who's now the #2 at the Department of Justice. And we heard her say, oh, Epstein never did anything wrong. I've never really seen him do anything wrong. He liked young women, not even young girls. He liked to listen to their music. I've never seen anything untoward. I've never seen. Donald Trump has always been a perfect gentleman. I was never involved in anything. All right, no one was buying that. And then the 33,000 documents that were turned over were not the Epstein files. They were documents that were turned over before that everybody had. I'll show you what Democratic Congress member Ro Khanna said, because he and the House Oversight Committee looked through all 33,000 documents, and 98% were duplicates of what was already turned over. Here's what Ro Khanna says. Here, play this clip.
Well, good morning. Let me break some news this morning. Our lawyers were up all night, and we now have a fact that only 3% of the documents that were given to us were new. 97% were already in the public domain. And less than 1% of the Epstein files have actually been released. The Epstein files are 300 gigabits. We know this because that's what the FBI has said. And they've released less than 1 gigabit. So they've released less than 1%, and of the less than 1% they've released, 97% is still in the public record. Bottom line, they're still stonewalling and not releasing things.
So you ever sit down to work and your brain just won't cooperate? That was me for so long. I find myself getting distracted.
Why they just won't let us know the aliens
totally
coming?
Focus, especially with a job like
That
this.
shit gonna freak everybody out. I said, motherfucker gonna see aliens and get freaked the fuck out. Think about the aliens.
$4,725 wire transfers totaling more than $1 billion. That is the staggering number revealed when Senator Ron Wyden stood on the Senate floor and described the contents of a hidden Treasury file tied to Jeffrey Epstein's vast financial dealings. This file is not rumor, not speculation, but an actual set of government documents, locked away in a cabinet where only a handful of people have been allowed to view it. For years, the public has been denied access, and for years officials have quietly resisted every attempt to bring it to light. Wyden's call was simple transparency. What he exposed were not theories, but hard numbers. Numbers that tell a story of massive financial flows.